Crit rate, crit damage. No. Oh, I had the wrong chest on. Oh, I gotta redo the whole thing. Oh no. Hey guys, DanHeilman. We are back with another Awaken Chaos Era video. Today we are doing a damage test comparison. Again, I'm doing the same thing I always do. 3-round burst damage on Gemini 12. And the two I am testing out today are Jacob, right here, and Antinua. I know Antinua is a very hard-hitting great unit. People on Discord were saying Jacob is the best unit in the entire game. He's just amazing. All this good stuff about him, saying he is so overpowered, he needs a nerf, blah, 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 blah. So I said, okay, let's test Antinua, who I know is a very hard hitter, versus Jacob, which I have no experience with. And we're going to go through all the damage comparison. It's going to end up being kind of weird because Jacob's kit basically snowballs as he gets further and further into the game. So for the burst test, he's going to be at a huge disadvantage. So kind of take it with a grain of salt. But what I will do is I will show some more Jacob gameplay at the end. I will talk about where he's good because he's not really good as a burst damage dealer. That is definitely not his role. But okay, hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so her ultimate deals 200% damage to an enemy. If this character has Unicorn Blessing, then grants a bonus turn. So when attacking, deals 30% bonus damage. When attacked, reduces damage taken by 30%. Removes this upon taking damage. Really cool, actually. Very awesome passive there. Love that. All right, let's see how hard it hits.
By the power of my unicorn, defeat my enemy.
And her A2 deals 150% damage to an enemy and grants Unicorn Blessing to this character. See how hard it hits. Now, Antinua is very interesting because look at, she still has an extra turn and we're still in round 1. Her A1 deals 100% damage to an enemy. If this character has Unicorn Blessing, then launches a bonus basic attack. So she still has the Unicorn Blessing, so she's going to attack twice here. I'll show you how it looks from the beginning. You see Antinua has her Unicorn Blessing. And when she gets hit, she loses it, but she gains it again. Now she gets hit and she finally loses it. So, but this is turn 3 now for her. So you can see now it's turn 3 and she has these two on cooldown, but she still has one more hit on her A1. So pretty cool. All right, we are swapping all the gear over to Jacob, and we're going to go check him out. Cliffs are maxed. Abilities are maxed. Stats are almost 4,000 attack. Decent amount of health. Decent amount of defense. Speed's kind of slow. Too much crit rate. And decent amount of crit damage. Not a lot of focus. That's that. Alright, so depending on who he chose, on the very first turn of each round, he chooses an ally, whoever it is, he's going to join attack with them. So I will use, we'll just use an ability and see if he chose Hackerin. He did choose Hackerin. Okay, so there is his joint attack. Very cool ability. He had joint attacks every single time. So he at least gets one extra turn every single time. It did not give him a stack of rage though. He has 0 rage. Okay, so anyways, I don't know if something's wrong with the debuff because it seems wrong. So if I use this ability, it says he has 0 rage right now, so he should not get any extra turns, right? So if I use this ability, you can see he got 2 extra turns, which is very odd because he didn't have any stacks of rage. So I think the stacks of rage are not showing correctly. Also, all of these abilities say they deal 80% damage, and they all deal different damage. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. It's making things hard because the tooltips are not accurate at all. So, okay. Anyways, let's just use his A2 here, his second ability. You see that one hit for 1,480. Okay. Now, if I use this one that also says deals 80% damage, it's going to hit for a totally different number. See that? And it hits like 9 times. So it's kind of confusing. Now I have 2 stacks of rage, which is what I should have had before. All right. So now it's still the same round. So he still will join attack with Hackerin. There's the join attack. You can see another join attack there. Awesome. He's actually in a revival set, which is my normal test gear, which is really good on Jacob. Jacob is so interesting because he gets so many turns. He's constantly healing himself with the revival gear. So actually, I might even suggest building Jacob for revival gear. At the end of this video, I will go through where Jacob's good and where I would use him. He's not good for this burst damage comparison, but I will put his damage on the Excel spreadsheet like always. All right, so now we're back to him. We're going to use this A1. He actually ended up being not too bad in Guild Boss, even compared to Cyrus, who's in really good gear. So, not bad place for him there. Also, one place I actually use Antinua and Jacob is No Man's Land, Bane Wrath, Stage 9. So, I'll show you my team here. Let me just show you one fight.
The truth is always
Here's my team, just all-out damage.
darkness.
Everyone, Cyrus is in a cursed set, so she gets extra attacks. Jacob gets extra attacks. Antinua gets extra attacks. Zatlux is just there for fun.
I'll drag you straight to hell.
Alright, so Zatlux just basically clears the waves quickly for me. The other guys would have done it. I could put anyone in Zatlux's place, but...
Relax, or this will hurt a lot.
The death spiral has begun!
By the power of my unicorn, defeat my enemy.
1 damage. 1 damage. 262.
One
There we go. Only give himself 1 extra turn the first time. Jacob there. Joint attack. Okay, he put his shield up, so now we gotta break it.
I'll drag you straight to hell. Relax, or this will hurt a lot. By the power of my unicorn, defeat my enemy. 1 shot, 1 kill.
Can see all the extra attacks from everyone here. Arendelle would be a really good person instead of Zatlux, actually. You get a ridiculous amount of attacks. You could use Marion Shadowblood as well. She gets joint attacks also. You can see I have the decreased defense and the intrigue.
The death spiral has begun!
And boom, there we are. Let's see damage report. Let's see who did what. Antinua is good. All right. Antinua didn't do much damage. She must have hit the shield a lot. But there you go. Jacob, really good performer in here. You can see he did even more damage than Cyrus, so that's very strong there in that dungeon, for sure. Okay, so we're going to compare the damage between the two units in a minute here, but I just want to talk about where I would use Jacob because he's got kind of an interesting kit, a little bit confusing, but he does stick out for a couple areas in the game. So Bane Wrath, he's going to be amazing in. Basically, he puts up the shield and you have to hit him multiple times to break the shield. So he's going to be really good in Bane Wrath, especially because he's positive affinity as well. This would be the #1 place. He's probably the #1 unit for Bane Wrath. Okay, so that's your skill up for green skill ups. The other place he's going to be good is Tulpa. Basically, after looking at these guys, what do I think here, okay? So, first of all, for Antinua and Jacob, they have really weird skill turn order. So, I put the turn order here so people can kind of understand where I got the damage number for. So these, in 3 turns, Antinua actually uses her A3, which procs a bonus turn, which then she uses her A2, and which procs another bonus turn. And then since she has a Unicorn Blessing, she procs another A1 because she gets to hit her A1 twice. And then she'll get hit. And then on the 3rd turn, she'll use her final A1. So she gets 5 attacks in 3 turns. But that's only if she can keep Unicorn Blessing up. If she gets hit, she uses Unicorn Blessing. Another thing is, you saw the bloopers at the beginning of the video. I had the wrong chest on her, so I just left the damage in here in case you're curious what losing 30% attack, 29% attack does for your damage. You can see that she loses, you know, 1,300 damage from losing 30% attack. So I just left that on there for fun. Jacob, on the other hand, does some crazy stuff. He uses a joint attack first, then he uses his ultimate, which actually doesn't deal any damage, and then on auto he uses his A2. In Madness form, he uses his A3 in Madness form, and then its next turn he gets a joint attack. He'll use his A1. He'll get another joint attack, and then he'll get another A1. That's all in 3-turn burst. And honestly, I didn't think he was going to perform on this 3-turn burst compared to other units, but he actually did pretty solid. He did about the same damage as Nathalia, Asrina, Cyrus, Abaddon. He did roughly the same damage, but you can see Antinua did 16,000 damage for burst damage. She is very good in burst scenarios. Long range, not quite as much because she's going to lose her Unicorn Blessing. And Jacob's actually going to do better in Snowball. He's going to snowball up. He's going to get more and more turns. He's going to do better in long fights than Antinua. They're both going to do solid damage. And Antinua does renew her Unicorn Blessing on her A2. So she will continue to get extra attacks. But Antinua actually one of the strongest so far in the entire game for the 3-turn burst damage on Gemini, excluding Aurak, who's damage based on max HP. So obviously he's going to really shine in this. But yeah, Antinua is very strong, 16,000 damage, one of the hardest hitting units in the entire game. If you just look at, say she doesn't even get Unicorn Blessing, okay? Say she doesn't get extra attacks, only 3-round burst. She still does 11,429 damage, which is still higher than anyone on this list besides Aurak. So Antinua, basically the hardest hitter I've found yet in the game. Very strong. Obviously, Aurak is another very, very strong hitter. So very cool. Jacob surprised me. He's I can see why people talk about him being very good, and if you use him with other people like Aranel or whatever his name is, that green unit who gets extra joint attacks, you can use her with Marion Shadowblood. You could even use her in Evelyn Firstong to get more turns. You could have a crazy team with so many joint attacks. So very cool unit. In practice though, where would I use him? I think he might be good in high tower. If you manual him, he's much better than auto, because on auto, he just blows his ultimate right away with no stacks and gives himself like 1 or 2 extra turns. It seems like they changed him a little bit, because when I tested him originally, on turn 1, he only gave himself 1 extra turn, but now randomly he gives himself 2 extra turns. So he got a stealth buff a little bit in the last balance patch, because I've been testing him for a couple days now. Cool unit. I would use him in Bane Wrath, and I would use him in Tulpa. Maybe Tower if you need to kill some green units. He's definitely better on manual than auto, because you can choose which order he does everything. But long fights, he's going to ramp up. He's going to get a lot of extra turns, a lot of attacks, and do some very solid damage for you. Actually, very cool in a revival set because of the extra turns. Okay, so that's it for the video. I went through everything here. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. This took me forever to make. I've been working on this for a couple days here because it's kind of a pain to add up. And as you can see, I always take multiple runs and average them together to get a decent sample size of how much damage they do. So, okay, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go down there, smash the like button, sub to the channel if you're not already, and have a great day, everyone. See you guys.